Okay. All right, all right. What's going on, you guys? What's going on? Back for another show here at the answer, 1 to 2 p.m. This is the Financial Freedom Hour. I'm your host, owner of King Credit Services, the #1 rated credit management company in San Diego. We're top rated in California. We're also nationwide. Yeah, we're here every Saturday, man, just breaking down different industries, credit, financial stuff, tools to help you get better. All right, just a bunch of different action steps to achieve your financial freedom. All right, no fluff, all facts. Man, it's good to be back. Another day, another beautiful day in San Diego. Can't believe it's already May. Can't believe it's already May, man. This is crazy. All right, we are live everywhere. All right, we are live everywhere. Let me turn me up in the headphones. Yep. There we go. Yep. There we go. All right, yeah, we are live everywhere. We're live on TikTok, of course. You know, you guys know I'm live every day on TikTok, every weekday, 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm live, yeah, live every day on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. Are we up on Instagram? Still connecting. Are we up on YouTube? Yep, we're up on YouTube. We're up on Facebook also. All right, man, we're live everywhere. Let's go. I love it. Yeah, we are live everywhere. All right, man. So we got a packed show today. Got a real packed show today. So we're kind of going to continue on the show we did last week. So we only got like halfway through of everything, but we're kind of going to take it from the top, take a different approach, but we're still going to talk about some more credit stuff. So the main topic is, the credit comeback, fixing your credit after it's already been wrecked. All right, because we got a lot of positive feedback from last week. So thank you guys for that. A lot of good questions last week. So you guys please keep the questions coming this week also. All right, so like I said, we got a packed show today. If your credit is already wrecked, we'll show you how to fix it. If you made past mistakes, credit sweeps, collections, identity theft, all right, it's not over. If you're an entrepreneur, we'll even walk you through rebuilding your business credit the right way. And always, we'll end this week's hottest headlines in consumer finance. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, my TikTok viewers over there. What's up, y'all? What's up, you guys? Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, every Saturday. Yeah, every Saturday. Here we go. Where they at? All right, yeah. So you guys, wherever you're watching at, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you can always drop a question, or you can always just shoot me a DM. If you're looking for services, you know how to reach me at kingcreditservices.com. Join kingcredit.com. You can shoot me a text at 844-689-0199. All right, before we get started, quick shout out. Moms off the couch. Moms off the couch. They are steadily growing. All right, moms are empowering women to take action every day. They do different events, just a lot of support, a lot of help, So definitely moms always need that back end support. New moms, old moms, military moms, empty nesters. All right. And that group is on Facebook. All right. Just type in Moms Off the Couch on Facebook and you should see that. All right. Restore funding. Flexible funding made simple. Restore Funding is actually my business funding partner. All right. So they're really good, man. They've done a lot of good work for a lot of my clients and myself. So go ahead and reach out to them if you're looking for some business funding. Now, there are some requirements for the business funding. All right. We can go over that. If I get through all my stuff today, we can actually do that for a little bonus. Simply Match. That's Simply Match with an I. All right. Simply Match with an I. Connecting you with the best co-signers in the country. So what Simply Match does, they'll partner you with a co-signer if you can't get approved for a house, car, mortgage or something like that. This is when he reached out to me, a year or two ago when he said he was starting this up, it just fit perfectly on what I like to talk about, helping people, especially with the credit stuff. And it was a match made in heaven. All right, so Simply Match with an I, simplymatch.com. If you're looking for a co-signer, apartment, vehicle, mortgage, anything like that, you can definitely reach out to them. And Millennial Staffing Services, actually our sponsor for the show. Millennial Staffing Services, they provide college educated virtual assistants. All right, for anything, social media management, sales, customer service, anything like that. All right, so if you're looking for virtual assistants, millennialstaffingservices.com. All right, millennialstaffingservices.com. And if you're looking to learn how to fix your own credit, all right, you want to join my new school community, that's school with a K. All right, school.com/King Credit. All right, it's a brand new group. It's very, very, very affordable. I made it that way for a reason, so everybody can get in there and start learning, how to fix your own credit. My guys on TikTok already dropping them questions. How do I sign up? Just shoot me a DM, Poncho. Yeah, just go ahead and shoot me a DM. My TransUnion went down because of Chime upgrade. Well, anytime you add a new account to your profile, your score is going to drop a little bit. That's normal. All right, that's normal. Can we help with repos? Yes, we can help with repos. Okay. Here we go. So my people on TikTok, you can just click. Let me put it up for you. There we go. Should be a little box right there. You can just shoot me a DM. All right, just DM me the word King so I know you're there for a consultation. Or you can just drop your question in there too. All right. Let's go. Is my Instagram up yet? Why is Instagram always doing this? All right. Let's jump into it. Definitely, man. It's always Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg, man. What are you guys doing over there? What are you guys doing? Oh, you guys got the best coders in the world. All right. Why can't I go live? Fix it. All right. Come on. All right. Don't cancel my show, Mark. I was just playing. All right. Segment 1, the credit comeback. What to do when your credit's already wrecked. All right. So, quick little backstory. All right. This kind of happens a lot, but we had a client come to us, after they did the credit sweep. Remember, we did the credit sweeps. We talked about those last week. I'll jump into it a little bit in segment 2, but after they did a credit sweep, they wiped their entire credit profile, even the good stuff. All right, that's not good. Okay, they couldn't get a car, home. All right, not even a phone plan. Okay, Verizon, they couldn't even get a Verizon plan. Okay, we had to help rebuild their credit piece by piece, legally, of course, and they end up going. So when they did the credit sweep, all the accounts end up coming back, like it always does, right? So they went from the 5s up to the 7s, and then when all the stuff came back, they were in the low 5s. So had to take a couple months for us to, add some more accounts, educate them, get that negative stuff removed from the credit. We ended up getting them back to like a 710, 720, and they were good to go. Okay, so a couple talking points, man. What a wrecked credit file actually looks like. All right, these are the first thing. When I look at your credit profile, when my team looks at your credit profile, when any good professional looks at your credit profile, these are some of the things that stand out. Okay, and lenders too. Okay, no credit score. All right, no credit score or it's under 500. So having no credit score is a lot better than having a 500 or just a low credit score, right? Because a no credit score just means that you just need to add a couple easy accounts. We go over those, Kovo, Kickoff, a secured card. Just add a couple easy accounts. After a couple months, that score will build up. But if you're under a 500, okay, that's usually a combination of things. You have a thin credit profile, and you probably got some negative stuff on that profile too. All right. He said, "Why is the screen so bright and fuzzy?" I'm not sure. Technology, man. Technologies. Blame it on technology. All right, so another thing we see is accounts marked like in dispute or consumer close, right? So if it's in dispute, that means that you went on Credit Karma or however you're disputing, right? You actually disputed that account. Or if it says consumer close, that means that you yourself decided to close that account, which happens sometimes. I understand it. You shouldn't be closing accounts, but if you feel like you had to, I understand it. Excessive inquiries or missing credit history. So when I see 50 inquiries on someone's credit report, right, and they only got like 3 accounts, that means that, they're just applying for stuff, okay, that when they shouldn't even be applying for anything. All right. So instead of getting all those extra inquiries for no reason, you can add easy accounts, right? Um, yeah, Covo, Self, Credit Strong, Rent Reporters for Age, right? You can add these easy accounts that you can add to your profile without actually getting signs of fraud or identity theft across multiple reports. So when I see that your report is locked, and then the reason is, identity theft or consumer claims that these accounts aren't theirs or something like that, you know, that could happen because, you're just listening to people that, are just kind of wrong, or you've hired someone that actually did a credit sweep, so it is what it is. All right. But top 5 reasons. Yeah, we kind of went over that. Top 5 reasons people wreck their score. Or actually some more. We can do some more. I got some bonuses here. So credit sweeps, right? Often sold as quick fixes, but they're illegal. All right. Credit sweep is when you claim identity theft, you use the FTC, upload the FTC report to the CFPB, and then, it looks like the accounts are gone, but the accounts are not gone. They're just suppressed. All right. So you don't want to be doing that. Identity theft, okay, it just opens up the door to fraud, late payments, collections, right, that you didn't even cause. Okay, so true identity theft is very popular. It's gotten popular over the 90s, 2000s, right? So in this internet age, as people get better with computers and technology, you know, they can steal your identity. All right, they can steal your identity. Hold on, my man on TikTok said, hold on, you guys. Yeah, my people on TikTok. I'll answer you guys after each segment. We'll do some questions after each segment. Okay. Um, Another reason why I see a lot of people's credit is kind of wrecked. Divorces. All right, divorces and breakups, man. Yeah, these ones are tough. Right, these ones are tough because you're going through emotional stress, and then you're going through financial stress, right? And your credit is all messed up because, when you get married, a lot of your accounts are joint accounts, right? And yeah, it just sucks, but it is what it is, right? You can always bounce back. That's the thing about credit, man. We can always bounce back. All right, shared accounts go unpaid, when relationships end badly, so yeah, if you're going to go through a divorce or breakup, I know you guys probably don't want to talk to each other or see each other, but just make the logical the logical choice, right? Whoever's the main account holder, you can just remove the spouse as from being an authorized user or whatever they were. You just don't want to start wrecking each other's credit, man. That's just being petty. You don't want to do that. The fourth one, this bad credit advice. All right, TikTokers pushing CPNs, um, yeah, unauthorized disputes, like just a whole bunch of nonsense on TikTok. So you really, really have to be careful. An easy way to combat this is just reach out to that company or the person talking about credit and ask them, hey, where are you registered? Right? What state are you registered? What state are you bonded? All right. Then check Google. Okay. You check Google reviews when you go to Chili's. Okay. When you go out to eat, why aren't you checking the Google reviews when you're giving someone your personal information to fix your credit? Doesn't really make sense. All right, let's do better. And then just straight up neglect. Okay. This is probably the most popular one because some people just don't want to know, right? They're just scared what they're even going to see on that report. So don't be scared, you guys. It's just your report. You can always bounce back, right? Just not checking your reports, not paying bills, letting accounts close in bad standing. You never want to do that, right? I see a lot of people in my lives are just saying, yeah, I'm not even going to just pay it. I'm going to just let it charge off and then I'm going to let you guys handle it. That's not a good method. All right, it's not a good method, man. You want to be responsible. We're adults now. Okay. You want to be responsible for your own financial future. All right. Well, we can definitely help with that. All right. Why recovery is always possible. All right. Credit is a system. All right. It's not a death sentence or anything like that. Right. With the right steps, scores can be rebuilt 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Right. The 12 months, that's the severe stuff. Yeah. So once you get that report, don't hide from it. It is what it is. You made a couple mistakes. Hey, you got a couple late payments. You were young. It is what it is. Now it's time to actually get right because we live in America and that credit's super, super important. All right. We got the laws on our side, FCRA, FDCPA. So FCRA is Fair Credit Reporting Act. Those are the ones that govern, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. All right. And FDCPA, that's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So those are the ones that govern like the collections and debt collectors and stuff, right? They can't just be doing any old thing. All right, we won't get too technical with that one on this show or this week, but I talk about this stuff again on my TikTok page, live every day. So you guys, and in the school community too. Okay, but always the first thing you should do, okay, pull your report. All right, pull your report. If you're balling on the budget, meaning you don't really want to pay for it, you can go to annualcreditreport.com and pull your report. Only thing is on annualcreditreport.com, they don't show your scores or anything. All right, so you can also use Experian, MyFICO. My clients and my viewers, we use My Score IQ. All right, My Score IQ. And even if you don't know what you're looking at, when you get your report, when you look at your personal info, okay, you know your personal info, right? You know if your name is spelled wrong, if you've been in divorce and you change your name, like that old data still on there, if those old addresses and stuff are still on there. Even if you don't know like how to find inaccuracies on actual accounts, you can see that incorrect info on there. So you can always just start there. All right, you can always start there. Uh, Brenda, was there any questions from TikTok? Uh-huh. Yeah. An app that helps with down payments for cars. No. Uh-uh. Uh, but if you're going to get a car, remember you want to go to your bank or your credit union, okay? A bank or your credit union because they already know your spending habits. They got your bank statements and everything right there. And when they pull your credit, it's going to be one hard inquiry, right? Instead of going to the dealership and they pull your report 100 times. Okay, so if you're going to get a car, always go with a credit union or the bank that you're already with. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's starting to become a little bit more popular now. Dang, what's the one? I forgot what the one was called, but they'll give you like, um, it's kind of more of an advance though. Yeah, they'll give you like a 500 or 1,000 before you get your check, but you're gonna have to pay it back. I forgot what the company is. It'll come to me though. I mean, that's not the best, but you can always improve it, right? So a 620 and 650, that's kind of like that where people get stuck in that little zone right there because there's usually something anchoring your score down, right? There's usually an old charge off, an old collection, a late payment or something like that that's anchoring your score down. So you should be instead of at 650, you probably should be like at 690 range, but that negative account is anchoring your score down. So um, yeah, I will look at your report and see what's going on. See what negatives are on there. Hmm. Yeah. So the thing with that is, so yeah, the accounts are supposed to fall off, every 7 years technically. But here's the thing: just because they fall off doesn't mean you don't owe that. Depending on the statute of limitations, but don't doesn't mean you don't owe that money, and they're not going to come after you, right? So a lot of people think they're just going to not pay and just slide on by for a couple years. No, 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 right? And once you start getting a 10, 15, 20 plus, yeah, these lenders will start coming after you. So you have to be really, really, really careful with that. Okay, I think I've seen. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely does. So auto loan counts as an installment loan. You guys, all loans are installment. installment accounts. Okay, so that means personal loan, auto loan, mortgage, secured loan, pledge loans, all that stuff. They're all installment accounts. So yeah, an installment account definitely helps you, especially an auto loan too, because it's building up payment history. You're showing that you're responsible. You're showing that you can make payments on time. So as long as you do what you're supposed to do, put that account on auto pay, and you should be good to go. Okay, should be good to go. That was it. Okay, hold on one second. I had some more from during the week too. So, can you recover from a 400 credit score? Of course, that's where my score was in the 400s. All right, and I didn't have me right up here free and just dropping gems for you and stuff like that. I had to go to the old prestigious YouTube University, and watch a lot of videos, read a lot of books, and eventually I came out on the other side. But yeah, 400 score. That's usually due to a combination of things. Got your charge offs, your collections, late payments, right? I had a whole bunch of stuff on my report when I was in the 400s, right? Just kind of being irresponsible, right? But you don't know what you don't know. Okay. What if I have no credit history left? So if you don't have any credit history, wherever you're watching at, wherever you guys are watching at, you should be able to see my link tree, right? Just go to my link tree and then slide down. It says starter accounts, right? Starter accounts. You click that. It's a free Google Doc I made. And it has a bunch of easy accounts that you can add to your profile. But to add age specifically, you can do that Rent Reporters. And then there's another company called Rental Karma also that you can do. Okay, that you can do. Does having a loan? Okay, wait. Okay, I just got a new car all on my own. Yay! Good job, Adrian. I see you over there, man. Let's go. In my name, and yes, I'm making payments on time. There you go. Yeah, just put that on auto pay. Yeah, put especially your auto payments, you guys, put that on auto pay. So you don't have to stress about it. It's just one extra thing that you don't have to stress about. Always think about your future self. How can I get a late payment cleared? Amy, so late payments are tough. We can kind of go over that for bonus in a little bit because it's like kind of a long answer. But yeah, Amy, yeah, just stick with us the whole live, and then I'll make sure I go over late payments after I get done with all my segments. All right. And does early payment affect? No, it doesn't really affect you. It's just a good habits to have though. Right. If you put your auto payment for 2-3 days before your actual payment, just good habits to have. All right, just good habits to have.
King Credit Services.
Big shout out to King Credit.
King Credit Services.
King Credit Services.
Shout out to King Credit Services.
King Credit Services, man.
Here at King Credit Services, we believe in changing lives, just like the clients you've seen. With over 150 5-star reviews, we've helped countless people take control of their financial future. Our expert team works to remove inaccurate, outdated, and unverifiable items from your credit report, boosting your score the right way. You'll get a personalized strategy, real results, and a clear path to better credit. Don't let bad credit hold you back. Take the first step today. Schedule your free consultation.
All right, let's go. All right, that was a good first segment. Let's go. We're flying by, man. All right, let's go. Segment 2. All right, segment 2, credit strategies and consumer laws. Just rebuilding the right way. All right, and there are many, many, many different accounts that you can use to build your report. But depending on what level you're at, okay, you should only be applying for certain accounts. Okay, so if you're just getting started, you shouldn't be applying for a Amex Platinum. Okay, you don't know how to use a credit card yet. All right, so that's what we're going to go over in this segment here. Let's go. Let's jump into it. Where are we at? All right. I forgot to talk about this a little bit earlier. So, why credit sweeps are dangerous and illegal? All right. I'm going to keep harping on this credit sweep because every time I turn on TikTok, every time I turn on Instagram, Facebook now, I've seen a Facebook ad where they're literally promoting credit sweeps. I've never seen that in my life. So these credit sweeps, you have to be careful. You have to know what you're getting yourself into because if you see an ad, okay, and let's say you got a 500 and you're trying to get a house in a couple months and you see an ad that says, we'll clean your credit in 7 days. Yes, it's going to, that looks very intriguing, right? So you're going to click that ad, maybe sign up, and you're going to send the money over, and you have no idea that these people are literally committing fraud in your name. All right, so that's why last week we went over it. We're going to go over it briefly a little bit right now too. So just why credit sweeps are dangerous and usually illegal. All right, most are based on falsely claiming identity theft without evidence. All right, that's technically a federal crime, you guys. Okay, people think, oh no, it's just a sweep and blah blah blah. No, when you do a FTC report, okay, then you do the police report with it, right? So they're just stacking up these crimes in your name, right? Happens all day, every day. Okay, they can delete positive accounts too, which is going to tank your score and credit age. So usually when they do a credit sweep, they're doing the charge-offs, collections, but they're also doing your positive stuff too. All right, also doing the positive stuff too. So have to be really, really, really careful with that. My guy on TikTok, 715, gets his own stream. Yeah, everything I show, these are all. I have a graphic on TikTok. Everything I show, these are all client results, before and afters. So this guy, there's results that I have up on TikTok. The guy was in the 500s, had a bankruptcy, charge-offs, and all kind of stuff. So that's all I show is receipts. What's his name? Porterhouse 09. If you need to see more results and stuff, just go to my page. All right, go to my page. And please keep it positive in the chat. All right, keep it positive in the chat, man. All right, let's go. Where are we at? With these credit sweeps, they often leave you flagged, all right, by credit agencies and eligible for future disputes. So there's always consequences when you're doing something illegal. All right, you don't just get to claim fraud when the stuff isn't fraud and then just think you can just go scot-free. Right, that's not how it goes. All right, so FCRA protections, just knowing your rights. I like going over this, especially when we're talking about credit. You know, FCRA, that's a Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right, Fair Credit Reporting Act. You guys can check that out, look that up. You have the right to dispute any inaccurate, incomplete, and unverifiable information on your credit report. Okay, so there's laws in place to help you. So it's okay for you to get your report, find inaccuracies, and dispute. That's not illegal. All right. Okay. You're able to dispute negative things and inaccurate things on your credit report. All right. The credit reporting agency, you know, if they don't respond within 30 days, sometimes they'll ask for a little extension up to 45 days. But if they don't respond, you know, in that 30 days, that's potentially a violation. You know, so we kind of do a hybrid model when we dispute. We're finding inaccuracy, disputing, and we're trying to catch violations also, so we can sue on your behalf. All right, so we can sue on your behalf. If a credit reporting agency, I already said that. The complaints. So the CFPB, right? I think we got. Do I have that? Yeah, I got that. We're gonna talk about that a little bit in segment 4 too. But yeah, the CFPB. Look, the CFPB is there to kind of make sure that, you know, the credit reporting agencies, you know, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and all the secondary bureaus too, LexisNexis and all them, just making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? I know, the man in charge, you know, POTUS, he kind of gutted the CFPB, but the basic things that they do, they can still do that, right? So you can still do your complaints on the CFPB and stuff, but my only thing is you don't want to be using the CFPB to do all your work, right? When you do a complaint on the CFPB, they actually ask you, they say, hey, have you tried to reach out to this company? Have you tried to dispute? Have you tried to do anything? And if you say no, the results aren't going to be as good. Okay, so but if you have, you know, hey, this company did this, and this, Experience reporting this wrong, it violates this, and this, and then you upload all that, they just have more ammo to, you know, to fight on your behalf. You know, pretty much, you know, just trying to simplify it. So, you know, pretty much how to dispute the right way. The easiest way for consumers, for listeners, is just factual disputing, right? Factual disputing. And when you factually dispute, you're actually trying to catch violations too. It's kind of like a 2-in-1, right? 2-in-1, 1-2 punch. So factual disputing is just when you actually get your credit report and find something inaccurate, right? Remember I talked about the names and stuff earlier. If you have a charge off or something and the date is wrong, or if it's reporting a balance, that's the type of stuff that you need. okay, before you dispute. That's 100 times better than trying to go on Credit Karma and just say, hey, these accounts are mine, right? That never really works, okay? Again, focus on dates, balances, payment history, creditor names, that type of stuff, all right? And always want to dispute with supporting documents, all right? And we go over all this stuff. Very, very cheap, you guys. Very, very cheap. School with a K, okay? schoolwithak.com/King Credit. $17 a month, all right? We got speakers coming in there. We got a bankruptcy attorney coming in there in 2 weeks. I do Zooms in there, 1 or 2 Zooms per month, going over all this stuff, you know. So $17 a month, man. I literally just spent that. I don't even know where I bought this from. I probably just spent $17 on this little coffee right here. Okay, coffee and a muffin is $20. All right, so you can learn how to, you know, change your financial future. $17 a month with my school community. So, and that's $17 is only for the first 100 people. So get in there, man. Let's work. Get in there. And some easy accounts. Okay, easy accounts to help you build your profile. All right, these are just there's a lot of other ones, but these are just the well-documented, well-known ones, right? So you got your Kovo, okay? We got your self-lender. So Kovo, remember I talked about installment loans a little bit? Installment loan, it reports as an installment account on your credit, on your credit report, but you're not actually getting an actual loan though, right? And there's no hard inquiry either. Okay, so you can get you a Kovo, a self-lender, right? Credit Strong, okay? Those are easy accounts that you can get to report on your profile, on your credit report, no hard inquiries, easy work. And those accounts, Self, Credit Strong, Kovo, they also have the extra benefit of they educate you a little bit in there too, and you can report your rent, right? So imagine you get those 3 accounts, and then each 3 of those accounts are reporting your rent too, maybe up to 2 to 5 years, okay? So you just got 3 easy accounts, and those accounts are reporting your rent. So you just added some easy age too. All right. I have a bunch of these starter accounts that you can get. All right. Like I said, wherever you're watching at in my link tree, it says starter accounts. My people on the air, you can text the word starter. Okay. Text the word starter to 844-689-0199. Text the word starter to 844-689-0199. You should get a automated text with the link in there, and then you're good to go. Like I said, it's a free Google Doc. Might as well take advantage of it. All right. Brian, how long did it take for you to get those results for him? Oh, the green screen stuff in the back. This was about 6 months. 6 months. He had like I said, he had a bankruptcy, charge-offs, couple inquiries. Yeah, so he did everything right. We did everything right. Meaning, as we're disputing, as we're educating him, we're sending him a couple links each month so he can start building his profile up too. So after that 6 months, the accounts are gone. His report is nice and built up. He went from the 5s, as you can see, to the 7s, and he graduated a while ago. Okay, I just like using this graphic because everyone knows Credit Karma, right? You meet people where they're at. Okay, you meet people where they're at. I remember when I first started streaming and stuff, you know, you show 800s and 820s, and you know, it kind of looks like you're bragging a little bit, right? If someone's struggling in their 400s, they got charge-offs and collections. They don't want to see you flaunting. You know, they want to. You have to make it really relatable, right? So, and Credit Karma is the most downloaded credit monitoring app ever. You know, so you meet people where they're at. That's why I like using this graphic. Okay, right? And you know, honestly, the background, you know, kind of makes my skin look a little better too. You know. Yeah. All right, man, let's go. Rent reporting. So rent reporters, Rental Karma, these are easy layups. All right. And you don't even have to be on the lease. All right. All you need is some documentation with the address. So your cell phone bill, bank statement, something with your address on there. Then they're going to ask you, you know, they're going to ask for a contact number that they can call. So if it's your roommate or your mom or whatever it is, they can call that person, and they're just going to verify that you live there, right, and how much rent you pay, right? So if you live at home, you know, just have your mom say, you know, he pays $200 a month, you know, something, because the amount doesn't matter, right? The amount doesn't matter. It's just how long you were living there, right? It's the age that matters, okay? What if a credit reporting agency ignores my dispute? That's a violation. That's a violation. So you want to keep track of all that stuff. Can I sue for violations? Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. We can sue for you too, right? We can sue for you. Yeah, if you're trying to get signed up, you know where to go. KingCreditServices.com. Join KingCreditServices.com, or you can just shoot me a DM wherever you're watching at. All right. Is rent reporting worth it? 100%. 100%. And just imagine getting an aged 2-year, 5-year, 10-year account to report to your credit for, I don't know. Some of these apps are like $20 a month, right? That's really invaluable. All right. So let's jump right into our segment 3 because dang, we are running out of time. Got about 15 more minutes. All right, let's jump into it. Okay. Segment 3, jump into some business credit stuff, just getting fundable even with bad credit. All right. So quick little story. Had a travel nurse. She had about a 515, 500, something like that. But she still opened up her LLC, which is a good thing. She still followed her steps. So while, her LLC is open, we helped her structure it correctly. But while that's going on, right, we're also helping her fix her personal credit. All right, so we built up about 25, 30K in just business credit in about 8 months, and that was without a PG, right? So that was like your, that's your net 30s and stuff like that. So we went that route with her because, number one, her personal credit wasn't good enough to get a business credit card yet, okay? But she wanted to build up her Paydex score and all that because she was trying to get equipment. All right, so everybody's a little bit different, right? We just kind of got to know, what you're trying to do. Okay. Why business credit can be not really a fresh start, but why people like business credit, right? People like business credit because it's attached to your EIN, right? Your EIN is kind of like your social for your business. You know what I'm saying? And you get your business credit scores from Paydex, Experian Biz, Equifax Biz. They're all separate from your personal credit. Okay, man, I wish I knew all this a couple years ago, man. You can get credit cards, vendor lines, and funding without a hard pull, but that's later on. All right, that's way later. So it takes about, they say you need 2 years in business, 2 years tax returns, and about 10 plus of deposits each month. But honestly, I will say when it comes, that's like for a credit union, right? They'll still rock with you. But when it comes to Chase, Bank of America, Citibank, you need to be aiming for that 3-year, right? That 3 years tax returns and all that, just to play it safe, okay? Because and it also it matters on your industry, right? It matters on your industry too. But let's try to aim a little bit higher than just the 2 years because everyone's trying to. Once they hit that 2-year mark, now they're trying to go get, business credit cards without a PG. Ava. Yeah, Ava's good. Jason on TikTok. Yeah, Ava's a good account too. I like Ava. Start. Is it possible if you get a collection removed, it can get sold to another collection agency can try to collect? Yeah, that happens all the time. It happens all the time. So that's why when it comes to collection agencies and debt collectors, you want to file violation and sue, right? Once you sue them and they delete that and they send that settlement, that collection is gone. They can't sell that again. All right. So I used to run into that problem a lot. You send a validation letter, the ones that don't know what they're doing, they'll remove the collection, right? And then be gone for a couple months. And then they'll sell it to another collection agency, right? And it'll pop up as a different name. So when you go that validation route, it's kind of a toss up. So that's why especially for collections, finding a violation and suing is always the best route for that. Which is the best rent reporting site? The best one is probably Rental Karma. There's one more too. That's not rent. There's like the big 3: Rental Karma, Rent Reporters, and there's one more that I can't think of, but. Yeah. Are you familiar with Credit Repair Organizations Act with CROA? Yes, I'm very familiar with CROA. In all the states that you're required to be registered and bonded in, we are. We're also actually in Canada too. But yeah, I'm very, very, very familiar with CROA. Thank you. Does a charge-off still report late payments? They do. Yeah, they do, because it's all a charge-off is an account that, you know, the consumer stopped paying on, right? And the company tried to collect and they actually couldn't. So, you know, you're behind because it's a charge off, because there's probably late payments on it, right? It has to have late payments on there. But Franny, can you guys on my people on TikTok, just hold your questions a little bit. I want to get through these segments. Always always get distracted and sidetracked. Great questions though, great questions. But yeah, just stick with me for a little bit. All right, so where was I at? Oh, LLC structure tips when your personal credit is low. But these tips are just everybody should have when you're starting an LLC or any entity. All right. Open a clean LLC with a unique business name and real business address. So I know there's a lot of home-based businesses, but you should definitely, just get you an address from Regis or something like that, right? Just make sure you want it official. So when you go to a lender, you don't want, 123 Peach Street to pop up, right? Your dog's in the front on the Google, you don't want that, right? You want a nice building, make it look good on Google and stuff. So get you a real, business address. Get you a domain, GoDaddy. Email, you can get your email through GoDaddy too. I like Google Business myself, but you can do all that wrapped into one with GoDaddy. And the business phone line. The business phone line, what's a good one? Ring Central is a good one. I'm with Go High Level now too. So Go High Level, you can get a number through them. Multiple ways to get a business phone, right? Business phone, or you can go to AT&T, Spectrum, Verizon. They all got business phone lines too. This is specifically if you're trying to get equipment, like the example I talked about earlier. Get that DUNS number that reports to Dun and Bradstreet. So, but here's one thing I do have to say. Okay, I do have to say, the bank does not care about your paydex score. Okay, the bank does not care about your paydex score. All right, so the bank really only cares about your personal credit score. That's really all they care about, right? But if you're trying to get equipment and stuff like that, you can build that paydex up and go that route. But once you're trying to get a business credit card from Citibank, Bank of America, anything like that, they're going to check your personal credit, and that needs to be not perfect, but needs to be up there, 700 plus, 680 plus. Okay, but some easy vendors that you can add for those net 30s just to build up that paydex score. These are the usual ones, right? Everyone talks about these ones. Uline, Quill, Summer Office Supplies, Crown Office Supplies, Nav, right? Nav is probably the most important one out of all those, because Nav is how you're going to monitor all your business credit scores, right? Nav, and there's another one too. Starts with an F. A Fair Figure. Fair Figure is another one too. It's similar to Nav, but it reports all your stuff. And Fair Figure actually reports your NetSuite score too. Okay, your NetSuite score too. So I like Nav. Tips for faster approvals. When you're dealing with vendors, when the vendors see that you're paying other vendors fast or before the actual payment date, that actually helps. So, pay invoices early, just builds a little bit more trust. And you will be surprised about this one, but people are still using their personal checking accounts for their business stuff. I don't understand it. Like when you go in to get a personal checking, just bring your EIN, your articles of incorporation, and get a business account. Put $100 in there. It's very, very easy. All right. It's very, very, very easy. All right. Yeah, and use Nav to track your business stuff. How much time we got? All right, we got a little bit more time. Let's jump into segment 4. I'm gonna skip those questions. Let's jump into segment 4 because I did want to talk about the CFPB. The CFPB cracking down on illegal sweep companies. You see how the credit sweep stuff all comes all in, right? I like to bring it home. All right. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that's the CFPB, is issuing fines and bans to credit repair companies, credit counseling companies, credit management companies that are doing illegal identity theft claims, right? So I told y'all they were going to catch up. right? I've been saying this since last year. Now they're finally cracking down on it. So if you've been a victim of a company that, made you do a credit sweep, report them. CFPB, right? CFPB.gov. Go report them. All right. Consumers are encouraged to report these at the CFPB, right? Or consumerfinance.gov. All right. Consumerfinance.gov. Okay. Another big one in news was what do they call it? Buy now, pay. Yeah. The buy now, pay later apps. So they're gonna change up the regulations. I called this out last year too. They're gonna start treating them like lenders, right? Because right now it's like the wild, wild west, right? You can go to a firm, get approved for something, and people just aren't paying, right? So they're going to start treating these companies like lenders. So there's going to be definitely some changes coming here in the next couple months. But yeah, just be careful, right? Those buy now, pay later apps, I like them, especially if you're going on a big trip or something, and you don't got the 5K, 10K, whatever it is, right? You want to break it up into monthly payments. I'm all for that. But just people are starting to, be responsible. You know how people do, always ruin something good. Okay. So if you're using these, Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, just know that the regulations are going to start getting tweaked a little bit. Yeah. So all this means is just more transparency, fewer hidden fees and potential impact on your credit report. So they are going to start reporting faster. I know people that had negative Affirm accounts from like last year, from 2024. Now they just hit their credit report like recently. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay, AI fraud and identity scams are exploding. Oh man, I seen a deep fake video with the same voice and everything. It was actually, yeah, it was really, really scary. So, as technology get better, there's always going to be some bad apples that are trying to use it to benefit themselves. So we just got to stay smart out here. Yeah, but fake identities, deep fakes, stolen personal data are always on the rise. I talked about that a little bit earlier. So just change your passwords, every couple months. That's really, stay off of like public servers, what's it called? The Starbucks and all that stuff. That's where a lot of information and stuff get leaked. So be careful out here, you guys. Use identity monitoring tools and credit freezes to protect yourself. So I do like, Identity IQ and My Score IQ. They're really good at this, right? Monitoring your information on the dark web and seeing if your password has been leaked in a data leak or something like that. Like they'll tell you. So that's why I really like My Score IQ. And you can try it out for $1 for 7 days, right? You can just go to my link tree and it says get your FICO score for $1. Check it out, right? If you're going to cancel it before the 7 days, right? Don't wait till the 8th day and then complain that you got charged. Okay, that's user common sense. All right. Last one, student loan forgiveness update. So new round of forgiveness for certain borrowers under the SAVE, right? SAVE, SAVE, and the PSLF program. All right. To see if you qualify for this, yes, this is for everybody that got hit with those 90-day lates and all that nonsense. Go to studentaid.gov. All right, studentaid.gov. You got to answer some questions, put some personal info in there, and you may be eligible for forgiveness. Okay, eligible for forgiveness, especially with like Nelnet. Yeah, a lot of people got hit with those 90-day lates, and yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, very unfortunate. Let me see. TikTok myth. What was the one? Oh, add 10 authorized users and boost your score to an 800. Okay. Yeah, I've seen this video. Look, authorized users are cool. All right, authorized users are cool and all, but you want to have your own accounts on your profile before you get added as an authorized user. Authorized users are made to enhance your score, not actually build your score, like build your profile, right? So if you got 7, 8, 9, 10 of your own accounts, and then you add an authorized user or two on top, that boosts you from that 680 to that 720. That's cool, right? But if you got one open account and then you get 18 authorized users, that's not helping you at all, because number one, you don't get approved or denied based on your score. You get approved or denied based on your profile. All right, based on your profile. So, yeah, be careful with that. Cannot report. How can I report a fraudulent credit repair company? How can you report a fraudulent credit repair company? You can always do like the BBB, Better Business Bureau, CFPB, FTC. There's all kind of ways to do it. All right, all kind of ways to do it. Buy now, pay later services affect my credit. They don't affect your credit. They don't even report to your credit unless pretty much unless you default on it. All right, so be careful with that. How do I protect myself from AI scams? Oh man, how do I protect myself from AI scams? Like I said, just changing your passwords every couple months. The AI stuff's a little bit different. All right. But all right, you guys, make sure you follow me at King Credit Services on all platforms. Catch the Financial Freedom Hour podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify and all that. And if you need help with credit, business funding, or anything, just reach out to us, kingcreditservices.com. And if you want to sponsor the show, reach out to me at contact@kingcreditservices.com. This will be another great show. Okay, I'm Lewis, your host of the Financial Freedom Hour. I'm here every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. on The Answer. All right, I'll see you guys next week. See ya. Woo! All right. Yeah, TikTok, hold on. TikTok, let me close out this show.